This is mental wellness in the modern world. Our mission is to connect biblical and psychological principles to better understand ourselves and the world around us. In a time when chaos is loud and pressure feels constant, peace isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Mental wellness isn't just about surviving, it's about finding clarity, strength, and meaning in the everyday. This is where honest conversations happen, where healing meets truth, and where you're reminded that you're not alone. Hi, I'm Eleni Lobene with Benison Kingdom Network, and this is Mental Wellness in the Modern World. I'm going to tell you a little story that happened this week. So, my son is in summer camp this week, and he is having a great time, but he really, for whatever reason, is interested in becoming a junior counselor in training. Now, he is not old enough to be a counselor in training. He apparently is old enough to be a junior counselor in training. And he really wanted to see if he could do that. And at first, he asked me to ask for it. And I said, no, you need to ask yourself. You know who to ask. Like, just go and ask if you can do that. You've been really good at camp. You've shown leadership. I know you've been helping out. So find out if you can do it, like officially. And he was so afraid. I was shocked by his nervousness of just going and asking for that. He wasn't asking for money. He wasn't asking for any sort of crazy thing. He wasn't asking for an exception based on his age. He was just asking if he could do a role to help out, basically as a volunteer. And watching him go through this process and watching him try and build up the courage to go up and ask the leader of the camp if he could do this role for them, it really struck me how much we allow fear to hold us back in our lives. I was thinking about how much, even in my own life, as I'm watching him go through this, how much do I let fear hold me back from pursuing what I'm supposed to be doing? How much of fear of rejection from other people am I allowing to interfere with my life? And it really got me thinking about the fact that this is something that we have to learn to grapple with as we move through life. But also, we may not even realize or recognize how much we allow our fear of other people's opinions or other people's judgments or fear of rejection alone, how much we allow those things to impact the decisions that we're making every single day. And more so, the opportunities that we can pursue moving forward in life. And I looked in the Bible and I was looking at what does God say about this, right? Like, is there scripture to support the fact that we shouldn't let fear of rejection move us forward? And in the Bible, it talks a lot about how we should find our identity and our security in God and our relationship with God rather than through other people and other people's opinions of us. And I really appreciate that sentiment. And I think it's absolutely true. I also think it's really, really hard to do because we are programmed to be concerned about how we engage with others in social situations. It's part of our survival instinct as humans, right? And so, to some extent, it's something that we have to develop. And I think that modern psychology and modern tools that psychologists will promote actually really help us to pursue this idea of finding our identity in God and in letting go of that fear of rejection. So, what does psychologists tell you to do? Well, a psychologist would tell you to challenge your thoughts. Think logically about what it is that you're feeling. Challenge those feelings. Think about where they're coming from. Okay. So I wouldn't say challenge the feelings, actually accept the feelings and consider, why am I having this feeling? What is my fear here? And then think about what really can happen. So sometimes our feelings are so big that we're not rationally thinking about what the worst case scenario might be. Maybe asking for a discount on something at the store when it's damaged, the worst thing they can do is say no, right? Or maybe it's something that's small, or maybe it's something bigger. Like, maybe you want to ask for a raise at work and you think you deserve it. The worst thing they can do is say no. There are so many opportunities in life to ask for what we need and what we want. And I hope that we are not being held back by irrational fear that is bigger than it needs to be, if that makes sense. I challenge you to consider where in your life you aren't taking a risk or you aren't pursuing what you would like to pursue based on some fear, even if it's hidden, even if you can't even fully recognize it or tease it out. It might be there. So maybe think about that this week. I'm Eleni Lobene. This is Benison Kingdom Network. Thanks for tuning in to Mental Wellness in the Modern World.